6 decades ago, this was a pasture. Now it's a football castle that bears its coach's name on the field inside. Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell Stadium. A huge crowd on hand tonight for the 54th time. The Miami Hurricanes and the Seminoles of Florida State set to do battle here in Tallahassee. Those are biodegradable balloons, by the way. They started that back in the 70s, and then they had to cut it off. Tonight they got new balloons. They've got the same old chop and the same old chant. The Seminoles are ranked 18th in the country, and they take on their in-state rivals, the Hurricanes of Miami. Welcome to Tallahassee, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge. You go through the years with these teams. Miami in the last 25 years has won 5 national titles. In the 90s, Florida State won a couple. But partner, this is 2009. It's been a little bit of a dip, and they're trying to get back up that ladder a little bit. Well,
I think they're both right up there on their way, and I think both teams could contend for this conference championship, get to a BCS Bowl. The teams are almost identical physically and athletically. I think Florida State is maybe one rung up that ladder higher because of the quarterbacks. Christian Ponder is a year older than Miami's Jacory Harris. He has 13 starts under his belt. Jacory only 2. Both guys are very talented young quarterbacks. Both are excellent leaders that really got the attention of their whole team. But I think Florida State's a little above them.
Ponder had a great game last year. Almost a coming out party. 144 yards rushing. Usually the team that rushes the ball best in this series wins.
Yeah, it's a trend. You know why? Because to run the ball, you got to be physical and tough. You don't win Florida State-Miami games with finesse and trickery. You win it with toughness.
Well, it's going to be on Jermaine Thomas for Florida State. Antoine Smith had a big game and a couple of touchdowns a year ago. On the other side, Miami has got 2 great running backs that we're going to see. There's the Seminoles, who were 9-4 a year ago. They lead, trail in the series to Miami, 30-23. But they won last year in a thriller. They had a 24-0 halftime lead, and Miami came roaring back in a game I called and almost won that ball game. Chief Osceola and Renegade are about set for the traditional flaming spear to midfield. One of the great scenes involved in one of the great rivalries in all of college sports. It's not just a game here, it's a festival. Here come the Seminoles. We had a threat of rain earlier, but right now 81 degrees, partly cloudy, light winds. And partner, you said feels more like Penn State than it does Tallahassee.
Yeah, it felt like a nice September night in Pennsylvania. It did not feel like Florida. We were down in Florida last weekend to see these 2 teams, and it was hot when we were here a week ago.
Was it ever hot at the practice and the scrimmage? Florida State won the toss and defer. That means that Brandon Harris right there will wait the kick from Dustin Hopkins. A true freshman is the place kicker for Florida State. Something to keep in mind as we go tonight. He got his leg into this one high, and it tails down to the 6, the Greg Cooper. Cooper on the return, and it's a good one out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Now there's the young man that Todd talked about, Jacory Harris. It's his show right now because behind him is a true freshman with 2 other quarterbacks having transferred out, including Robert Marve, who transferred to Purdue, who was the starter in this game a year ago.
Yeah, he's got a unique presence about him, Brad. Even though he's young, just a true sophomore, he's got a real calming effect on this football team. He's an excellent leader for a young guy, and the team really responds to him, really believe in him.
They bunch 3 receivers to the left. Now they spread them out with James and Cooper behind Harris. And he'll drop the throw on first down. Going to throw a little screen out to Javaris James. And baby James is on his way to a first down just like that. Well, both those guys in the same backfield. We weren't sure we'd see that right away at the beginning of the ball game because Craig Cooper is now being used as a kickoff returner as well. Randy Shannon, his Third year, more than 20 years in the program, though, as a player, assistant coach, and now head coach.
Well, if you're a quarterback, that's a great first play. About a 3-yard throw and a nice run after the catch. You get those nerves out, and here we go.
And a play fake all day to throw deep and skip off the hands of the intended receiver, Leonard Hankerson, as we take a look at our principal financial impact players. We talked about Greg Cooper. He'll alternate with Javaris James in the backfield. Had a great year last season. Travis Benjamin had 274 all-purpose yards in this game last year. Even though he's not a starter, keep him in mind. And Sean Spence was ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year from his linebacker position last season. Second down at 10. Canes just on their side of the Seminole 50-yard line. They go straight ahead with James. He broke one tackle, and Knowles trying to drag him down and rip the ball out, but he got all the way down to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 7. Kendall Smith made the stop.
And we mentioned the trend of who runs the football better in this series usually has the edge. Last year, Florida State dominated the running game, 310 yards to 51 for Miami. But coming into tonight, both teams feel pretty good about their offensive lines. Miami has 3 seniors up there. They pride themselves on being a physical group. They've got the 2 backs in Cooper and James. I think you're going to see both of these teams try to really establish themselves physically at the line of scrimmage.
It looks like they will do that right here on 3rd down and 3 because they've got 2 tight ends loaded in there. And they will run it right up the gut. James is going to be short by about a yard. Marcus White made the stop defensively for Florida State. So now we got a 4th down situation here early in the ball game. Last year, Miami was the #1 team in the ACC in 4th down conversion, 68%.
A new starting defensive end for Florida State, Craig Yarborough, who is a former walk-on, really is the guy that disrupted that play. He didn't get the tackle, but he crashed in hard from the outside and disrupted the blocking scheme and caused Miami to come up short. There's a lot on his shoulders tonight.
It'll be James, and he got it. Inside, a new offensive coordinator for the Canes. They've had a handful of them in the last 5 years.
Yeah, Mark Whipple is the new guy. He was there in the spring and has a very good relationship, working relationship with Jacory Harris. Jacory showed good poise here. A little check at the line of scrimmage. Little ISO play following the fullback in there. Patrick Hill, number 30. But, you know, they called timeout before that 4th down play. I mean, even though you practice things, you communicate, when you get in the game and that adrenaline's flowing, it's still a whole different animal. And still some kinks to work out communication-wise.
So a 1st down for Harris and the Canes offense at the 39 of Florida State. He wants it all. Deep ball and a man out there. Touchdown. Travis Benjamin. Did we mention impact players and who to watch for? He's done it a 2nd year in a row.
Looked like a busted coverage by Florida State because you don't turn somebody loose down the middle of your defense. Corey Mangum is the new starting rover, and I think he might have found himself out of position on that play.
Matt Bosher in for the point after. Talk about quieting the Seminole crowd. Bosher's extra point is good. 3 minutes into the game, Jacory Harris and Travis Benjamin strike big from 39 yards out.
We talked about the trend of who runs the football better. Here's another trend in this game. 16 of the last 18 in this series, the team that has scored first has won the game. So something to keep in mind as well.
Bosher will tee it up and kick away to Greg Reed, who's a freshman. And Taiwan Easterling, who a lot of people thought wouldn't even be in this spot to be able to play football after an Achilles injury. And he rehabbed so quickly that he's back there as a return man. Having to run up on it in a hurry is Easterling at the 15-yard line. And he got a little bit of a crease. He was about 1 man away from taking that one a long ways. 19-yard return. Good field position for Christian Ponder and company. So here's the undisputed leader of the offense, according to both Bobby Bowden and Jimbo Fisher.
The thing I see different in Christian Ponder so far, and it's just been scrimmages, obviously this is the first game, compared to him last year as a first-time starter, better pocket presence. He's not in such a hurry to get out of there. He's got his eyes up. He's had an outstanding summer camp throwing the football and leading the team.
He's going to throw on first down, and he zips one complete to Rod Owens. So they come up firing right away just to try to get Christian Ponder in a little bit of a rhythm. As we take a look at Florida State's impact players, Jermaine Thomas is the man now. 7 yards a carry a year ago. Defensively, the guy that's the captain is Dakota Watson. He's the undisputed leader. But in the secondary, a guy that they say is as good a cornerback as we've had here in a long, long time. And there's some pretty big names. Patrick Robinson back there celebrating his 22nd birthday on this night, Labor Day night. Third time these teams have met on Labor Day since 2005. Here's Thomas. Takes a big hit after a pickup of 2 at about the 40-yard line. It'll bring up third down and 3.
This offensive line we mentioned for Florida State is a young group, but talented and athletic. They really move well coming off the ball. 3 years ago, when Jimbo Fisher came as the new offensive coordinator, he also brought Rick Trickett as a new offensive line coach. He ran a few guys off. He trimmed the other guys down, and he's built a pretty good unit right now.
Ponder now in the shotgun with 4 wideouts. And he's going to go deep, and he's got a man, and it's caught for the first down.
Not that tough.
Not that tough, I guess. Burt Reed. That's the problem. As I said, they're giving him another crack, even though it's long yardage.
Well, this is a cover 2, which means 2 deep safeties that split the middle of the field. And the middle of the receiver from the slot runs right down in between the safeties. There was no linebacker to slow him down or to get in the way of the throw, and Ponder attacked the soft part of that cover 2 defense right down the middle for a huge throw.
34 yards down to the 14-yard line. Now the stretch play to Ty Jones, who puts both arms around that football and got it down to about the 11.
I think in both of those cases, that completion and the Miami touchdown, those were coverage breakdowns. I mean, you don't give up a third down and 23 against that kind of a defense. Just let somebody run down the middle. But credit Christian Ponder for seeing it and making a good throw for the conversion.
A defensive coach like Randy Shannon doesn't like that one bit. Christian Ponder's only missed once. 6 out of 7 for 62 yards on this opening drive for Florida State. They got it 2nd and 7 just outside the Canes 10. He stumbled as he got back in the pocket, and now he's going to keep it. And got about a yard. Knocked out of bounds at the 10. Ponder last year had a sensational game as far as running the football. 19 carries. A career high 144 yards. They don't necessarily want him to do that again, but he really does have good feet and he's got good speed.
Well, and you got to believe that Miami is more in tune to that this year than they were last year. He had 101 of those in the first half, and some of them were designed runs, a couple options, but most of it was just when things broke down, he scrambled, and nobody really accounted for him.
This is the 13th play of the drive. It's taken 7 minutes. And at the 10-yard line, Florida State with another third down. Ponder going to loft it to the corner to the tight end. Touchdown. Ponder to Porosky. Sounds like a law firm. 10-yard touchdown.
They changed formations, they changed plays with the extended timeout, and they called the right one.
Another one of those huge targets at tight end. Porosky, 6'7", scores from 10 yards out, and the freshman kickers tied it up. We got a good one going in Tallahassee. Knowles fans are loving it. Christian Ponder almost perfect. Knowles 7, Kane 7. Big plays galore in the first 10 minutes. Tie game. 4:55 remaining in the first. Dustin Hopkins to kick for Florida State. Greg Cooper and Mike James are back deep. Cooper from the 6. He's a good one, but he really got popped and he bounced off it. Shows his running back ability there. That's something you don't get from some of those guys that are 175-pound receivers. He took the shot and got it out to the 43. Cooper. Oh, man, was he met in the hole by Nigel Bradham. That's a big-time hit there. Bradham, a sophomore out of Crawfordville, Florida. A lot of speed on both sides of the football. As the first quarter starts to wind down to a close. 7-7 in Tallahassee at the end of one. We open the second quarter at Doak Campbell Stadium, tied at 7 with Miami having a third down at 7. Ron Bird stays in there, and he comes out wide to the left side. 3 wide outs on third down and 7.
Florida State's nickel package, only 1 defensive lineman on the field.
Here they come with pressure, though, in the second wave, and it's Dakota Watson. Back-to-back great plays by the guy that's the bell cow of the Florida State defense, the captain over there.
This is Mickey Andrews' version of the nickel defense. There's only 1 defensive lineman. Everybody else are linebackers and defensive backs. He wants speed rushers, and he will trade speed for size in that kind of a formation, and boy, it paid off for him that time.
That was a nice series by number 36 defensively. Matt Bosher will be forced now to punt. Burt Reed is back deep for the Seminoles. Wow, nice kick. Reed's got to call fair catch and backpedal while he does so, all the way back to the 18-yard line. 49-yard punt. Still a tie game. Christian Ponder's got a touchdown pass already. We'll see what he does when we come back. There's the freshman, Olivier Vernon, playing maybe a lot more than he anticipated tonight. Ponder on first down, and now Ponder's going to tuck it. And he's run down from behind, but he picked up about 7 yards on the scramble.
Well, they're really high on Olivier Vernon, the Miami defensive staff is. You're going to see him coming right here on the rush. He doesn't get a sack, but he's an aggressive kid, 6'3", 250 pounds. But you mentioned he's playing a little bit more. Now, the 2 projected starters for Miami at defensive end, neither one is even here tonight. Eric Moncourt has got a groin injury. He's out. Adewale Ojomo has a broken jaw. Those were the 2 guys they expected to be their starting defensive ends. Neither one even dressed tonight, and so Vernon is getting a lot of playing time.
Second down and 3. They'll give it off on the sweep to Ty Jones, and Jones got the corner somehow over there. Looked like he was going to run out of real estate, but he picked up 10 before Randy Phillips could track him down, and we've got another hurricane down at the 35-yard line.
Boy, really nice job blocking by the left tackle, Andrew Datko, number 67. Actually blocked 2 guys on this play.
Meanwhile, it is first down on that sweep to the 48-yard line. So Florida State's got all its timeouts remaining. Plenty of time as they try to move it down the field here in a tie ball game. Ponder flares it out. Wide open man is Goodman. Goodman's got another first down to the 40, maybe the 39.
See, the problem that Miami has right now is that they're facing a quarterback that feels great. I mean, he's comfortable, he's confident, and when you're like that and when you're relaxed, your field of vision just opens up. I mean, he's seeing the whole field. I mean, and so he's hitting different receivers all over the place. They're not getting him to lock in anywhere, and that makes it very difficult to defend. That's the 8th different receiver that he's completed a pass to tonight.
12 out of 15, really mixing it up. Ponder's got him down to the 39-yard line. Now the long handoff. Ty Jones, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. You know, talking about Ponder, Todd, and you're never going to find a smarter quarterback, at least academically, I don't think, because he's on his way to getting his master's. He'll graduate with the MBA in 2010, but in 2.5 years, he got his first degree. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Magna cum laude, and we talked to Jimbo Fisher, and I think Aaron asked him, what is it like to have a quarterback that's smart that you get to deal with? And Jimbo said, I need an interpreter half the time. They're down at 5. Let's see how comfortable he can get in the shotgun here. They try to keep this drive alive at the Canes 34-yard line. Ponder deep out, just a little bit too far outside. And Fortson laid out for it, tried to one-hand it on the sideline. So now it'll be 4th down and 5.
Well, this is incomplete, but it gives you an idea of the arm strength of Christian Ponder. Right hash, throwing to the left sideline on a deep out. That takes a lot of arm.
I asked Bobby Bowden yesterday, I said, what would you do with your freshman kicker? How much trust do you have him? And he said, I'd give him a crack from 50.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to give him a crack from farther than that.
When I was in the fitness center this morning, his dad was in there working out. This young kicker, he said he was more nervous than his son.
He's going to try a 52-yard field goal. True freshman with a big kick, and the kick on the way. And he got it. I bet your dad's stomach was in his throat for about 6 seconds right there. Here's another look.
Great snap, great hold, perfect kick.
How about that? That's the way you splash on the scene in your first college football game. 52-yard field goal. Bobby's seen enough bad field goals in this series. We know that. I bet there's a little adrenaline flowing to number 18 right now. He might knock this thing out of the end zone on the kickoff. Either that or he'll miss it.
Those band members that are walking out of the tunnel better have a heads up.
So the freshman out of Houston with the gold shoes and obviously the golden toe on that kick. Set the kick away to Greg Cooper and Mike James. He's just a little bit pumped up right now. And he did get a good one. Almost 2 yards deep for Cooper. Cooper weaving his way across the 20. And put down at about the 25. Jacory Harris on the roll. Plenty of time to find a guy in the middle. Down to the 44-yard line to Epps, his tight end. Pickup of 19. Boy, Jacory Harris was just going out to pasture there. There was nobody for 15 yards around him.
Well, he wants to throw rather than run. They've got no timeout, so they've got to use the clock the best that they can. Epps able to come down with the catch.
We've got 3 wideouts here on first down. Harris in the pocket, down the middle, complete again. They're in Collier, who ran a couple of end arounds back-to-back earlier. Now he's got an 18-yard pass reception.
Well, the one thing that we're seeing is both of these teams have got receivers running in open spaces against the defense. I mean, Florida State's guys are running open, Miami's guys are running open, and the quarterbacks are finding it.
He caught that one in front of a freshman defensive back in Greg Reed, and now the old veteran Tavares James takes it down for what is going to be very close to another first down.
And just so you know, I mean, for those that aren't aware of this, in college football, if you get a first down, the clock stops until they reset the change, or if they measure. Florida State calling a timeout here. So even though Miami does not have any timeouts, there are still ways to stop the clock and use the clock to your advantage.
Second down and a yard. Can do a lot with this play. They motion Collier, and they'll just keep it on the ground to James, and he's got the first, and bounces off a would-be tackler and got to the 23-yard line. Kendall Smith made the tackle. Tavares James, nephew of Edgerrin James, showing up well tonight. He missed 4 games last year, too, with that high ankle sprain. He's a good one when healthy. He didn't play in this game last year. First down. Minute and a half to go in the half. At the Seminole 23. Here comes a blitz. Harris got rid of it in a hurry. Completed it to Aldarius Johnson. So again, he's mixing it up to different guys.
So now the clock is running because it was caught in the field of play, and it's not a first down. So this is where Jacory Harris has to speed things up. I mean, get the play from the sideline, but get a little sense of urgency about you to manage the clock.
Second down and a long 4. We've got to get down to the 12-yard line for the first. They've got that and then some to Johnson again. And Johnson's got it first and goal.
See, football is such a game of matchups. And in the NFL, even more in college, that's the case. Well, Mark Whipple just came from the NFL. And he looks across at Florida State and he says, all right, they got a big-timer in Patrick Robinson, number 21. Right. So let's not take a whole lot of shots against him. Let's find the other corner on the other side, and let's work on that side.
James on the handoff. Cuts back inside. Touchdown. Javaris James from 6 yards out has given Miami the lead. Boy, that was a nice cutback run, Todd, on this one.
It sure was. He followed his left guard, Orlando Franklin, number 74, right into the end zone. They really had Florida State's defense on their heels that entire drive, and they mixed in the run nicely there.
Kendall Smith, the middle linebacker, ran at it, but as soon as James planted his foot, he was dead in the water as far as trying to make the tackle, and Bosher adds the extra point. Well, right now, Miami doing what they wanted to do, take the lead to the locker room. They're up by 4 at halftime as we head down to Aaron.
Well, Coach, great first half for Christian Ponder. Really his first mistake. What happened to him right there?
Well, we blew a couple of routes a while ago. I think he could complete about everything if we'll run correctly, because they're protecting him pretty good. But our problem is stopping them. We knew our biggest concern was our secondary, and looks like he's taking advantage of it pretty good.
You're moving the ball well. Finishing drives, though. I mean, what are you going to tell your guys about doing that in the second half?
Well, finish drives. That's what we've got to do. You're right. I mean, we're moving the ball up and down the field. They are too. You know what? We got to get in the end zone. They took advantage of their drive. We didn't take advantage of ours.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
One mistake, or it might be closer than it is right now. 14-10. The Canes coming into Tallahassee trying to pull off a win here. Don't forget to stick around after the break for the Olive Garden halftime report. Right now, the Canes are king by 4 as we're almost set to start the third quarter. After a late touchdown drive by Miami, they've got the halftime lead. And Christian Ponder with really the only mistake made by either quarterback with the interception by Randy Phillips in the end zone that stopped a Florida State drive that could have given them the possible lead at halftime. Miami can kick to open up the third quarter. And it'll go down to the 10-yard line. Greg Reed, the freshman, still on his feet. Across the 35 and out to the 40-yard line. That's what they love about that kid. There's going to be a flag flying on top of things, I think.
That's the kicker who makes the tackle, and then he throws him down on the Florida State sideline. I mean, not too smart.
Reed got victimized a little bit on that late scoring drive by the Canes when he was playing in the secondary as a nickelback. He just made up for it with a long kick return, and they're going to tack 15 more on this as Florida State's going to be in Miami territory. Here's the call.
After the player was out of bounds, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 25, 15 yards will be added to the end of the run, first down.
What a way to start the third quarter. Here's Reed, a shifty freshman, and there's way out of bounds, and that wasn't the smartest move we've seen. We talked about lack of mistakes, and Todd, the only one that was really made in the first half was by Ponder. But you talked about the quarterbacks a couple hours ago. They're both playing well.
They're both playing very well. Both teams are throwing the ball well. One difference, though, Miami ran the ball for 52 yards. Florida State only 17. I think Florida State needs to establish their run a little bit so they have a play action threat.
Here's Ponder, who's going to throw on first down inside the 40, so he picks up about 8 more quick yards as he got that one to Richard Goodman. Let's check in with Aaron.
Brad, thanks so much. Well, we just saw that penalty on Miami's kicker. You know, when Randy Shannon came out of the locker room after halftime, I didn't even have to ask him what kind of adjustments. He told me offensively and defensively, we got to stop it with these penalties. We are ruining great drives. Also situations, guys, 3rd and long. He said this team can't handle that right now. We have to stop putting ourselves in those situations as well.
Well, there's Bosher, the guy that the penalty was called. So here's Florida State now with a 2nd down and short after that 8-yard pass by Ponder. Now they will try to go to the ground. And straight up the middle, Jermaine Thomas. Probably his best run of the day. The night, I should say. We hope you've had a good Labor Day weekend. We hope you've enjoyed our Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff weekend that started way back with NC State and South Carolina on Thursday night. Seems like 3 weeks ago. Jermaine Thomas, he's going to get the majority of the carries. Ty Jones has played a little bit tonight. Chris Thompson's a guy we could see, a true freshman. Ponder in the gun here on first down at the Canes 32-yard line, trailing by 4 in the opening minute of the third quarter. Ponder hangs in the pocket, down the middle, he's got his man. Rod Owens inside the 15. He just keeps mixing it up.
Well, Miami's playing a lot of coverage with those safeties splitting the field, and the middle is where it's open. Now, he made a mistake right before the half, throwing late down the middle. That time he threw on time down the middle and got the big completion.
So the worry was where the wide receivers were going to come from Florida State after a couple of good ones, and Preston Parker and Greg Carr graduated last year. I don't think they're having a problem here tonight. And Thomas slips. He's hit in the backfield by Andrew Smith and goes down for a loss on the play.
A little different formation that time for Florida State, too. The pistol formation, where Christian Ponder, the quarterback, is in a shotgun and the tailback is right behind him. We didn't see that at all in the first half.
Well, call it second down at 10, even though he lost almost a yard. There's Jimbo Fisher. Jermaine Thomas gimps off a little bit. And Ty Jones is going to have to go back in there in that backfield. Anyway, he's got more grass in front of him now, and he's going to run a quarterback draw. Ponder to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, he made up for it. He may have gone the wrong way to play before. He didn't go the wrong way that time.
You got that right. 9 yards for the touchdown.
He ran right behind Ty Jones, and the right guard, David Spurlock, number 79, pulled up into the hole, and Ponder walked into the end zone.
Ty Jones got a big-time block on Randy Phillips, and that cleaned the way once he got down close. And there's a missed extra point. I don't know if he just missed that or somebody got a hand on it. So the freshman kicker had a long field goal, but he misses an extra point. Nonetheless, Seminoles have regained the lead, 16-14. Only had to go 46 yards in 6 plays in 3 minutes to take the lead, but a missed extra point could be costly. Ponder runs it in from 9 yards out to cap the scoring drive. Part of that drive started with Greg Reed's nice kick return, and Matt Bosher with the personal foul, trying to make the tackle way into the Seminole bench. So they started in Miami territory and covered 46 yards to change the lead for the 3rd time tonight. Hopkins, who missed that extra point, set the kick. He just doesn't like the short stuff. He likes the long ball. This one's about 5 yards deep, and Greg Cooper won't bring it out. Let's take a look at the touchdown again, Tom.
Oh, it's perfect execution. 3 key blocks. Datko's going to get this linebacker. Spurlock's going to pull around and get Spence right here. And then the last block, Ty Jones is going to get the safety Phillips, and Ponder's just going to follow those 3 blocks right into the end zone. 1, 2, and here's the last one. And he makes a great cut off the last block into the end zone.
That is perfect. Here's the extra point, though. And that was just missed time. The freshman kicker had a head start before the ball was even snapped, and he just shanked that thing. Nobody got a piece of it. But that definitely changes possibly what could end near the end of the ball game. It's a 2-point difference, not 3. 12 minutes and a second remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's been a good one. 54th meeting between the Canes and the Noles. Jacory Harris going long in the middle. Complete to Darius Johnson. And Johnson, shaken up, might have landed on the football, but he's got it down to the 49-yard line.
Boy, this is a poor play by the free safety, Jamie Robinson, number 20. He really comes up to, I don't know what he came up on. It was a double move by the receiver, which was a nice route, but the safety, number 20, you see him chasing the play at the end, had come up on the fake. Watch Jamie Robinson come up, and then somebody runs behind him. You don't want your free safety sneaking up there and let somebody run behind you, and that time he did not help his corner.
Jenajay was the guy that was covering on the corner, and he obviously is going, hey, where have you been? 31-yard pickup.
I'll tell you, the story of this game so far for Miami has been their first down passing. I mean, they have been deadly throwing the ball on first down.
You didn't have anything fried there. That's pretty good. Florida State's defense doing a nice job defensively right here, as there have been times where they've struggled a little bit tonight so far. But Mickey Andrews' crew is stiffening up at the right time, because great field position for Miami right here, and they may not be able to do anything with it. Good ball game so far, though.
It's an excellent ball game. It really is. And you know, the thing about it is, right now it's a matter of which defense can come up and make a couple plays, because both offenses have been able to move the ball, throw the football, but right now it becomes a matter of which defense can come through.
3rd down and 11. Harris in the shotgun. Rolls. Wanted it all. Now he does go deep. And into traffic and intercepted by Greg Reed. And Reed, the freshman's got his first interception as a Seminole.
You remember the mistake that Christian Ponder made? He threw late deep. You don't throw late deep. That's what Jacory Harris did on this one. He waited, and then he tried to make a throw deep down the field, and Greg Reed was there for the interception.
So each quarterback's just made one mistake, and here's Jacory Harris's.
The safety came over. There was double coverage. The throw was late. And again, we've seen both quarterbacks make the exact same mistake, throwing late on a deep route.
Well, they like this young guy, and I can see why. So with the turnover, Florida State takes over with the lead and the ball at their own 18-yard line. Jones, nice cut back in the middle, tough run. Daryl Sharpton got him, but he picked up about 4. I wonder if Cabos is open by the time we get done with this ball game. It's almost 10:30 Eastern time. And here's Ty Jones. I'm sure he's been there to eat as well. Here's another big 3rd down for Florida State at the midway point of the 3rd quarter. They're leading by 2. A touchdown pass and a touchdown run by number 7, Christian Ponder, the junior quarterback. Borowski, his tight end, was in motion as he sets and throws to Borowski. 1st down and more. Inside the 45, the 35, out to the 37.
I like that call, because I think, again, in the game of mismatches and matchup that favor you, I think they've got a matchup advantage with their tight ends. Both Borowski and Railford are both 6'7". They're both big guys who are going to use their bodies against smaller linebackers. I think that's a matchup that Jimbo Fisher can use more in this second half.
Borowski's dad was an All-American linebacker back in the late 70s for Florida State. He's had a touchdown catch tonight, a big 3rd down catch there. Ponder deep middle, wide open. Richard Goodman to the 35 of Miami. A 28-yard pass play.
See, just a little bit more running by Florida State in the second half makes 1st down play action a viable option. They didn't have this in the first half. The play action holds the linebackers. When the linebackers are held, it allows crossing routes to come in behind them into big open spaces in the defense. The play action holds the linebackers. They have to respect the run. And then you've got nice areas between the linebackers and the deeper safeties to throw the football.
All the way to the 35-yard line. Now back to the run they go. Jones trying to take it wide. That's hard to do against most Miami defenses, and this one's no different. Joseph made the stop. So the folks on the Florida State sideline told Aaron that Jermaine Thomas is okay, but we haven't seen him since he went out.
See, the other thing that running the football does is it gets your offensive linemen fired up, gets them excited, and it's like punching a defense or a boxer in the stomach, because it takes their legs away from them, because it's harder for a defensive lineman to play the run than the pass.
Only 32 yards on the ground for Florida State. Here's some trickery on the end around to Lewis Gibbons. Randy Phillips trying to collar him, but he can't. Somehow he got around Phillips' grasp, but he got a 1st down.
Lewis Gibbons is a senior. He's only 5'8", 170 pounds, a former walk-on, transferred from Mars Hill College. But he's a guy they like to get the ball in special situations. They sneak him on the field, and then they get him the football in space.
It's fairly easy to sneak on the field. He's one of the few guys at Florida State as a wide receiver that's not a big guy. Burt Reed's bigger than he is, and the rest of the guys, as you said earlier, are all in that 6'3", 6'4" category. Chris Thompson now a freshman and a tailback. They fake it to him, and they throw it again to Easterling, and Easterling still on his feet. Touchdown. Taiwan Easterling, 21 yards, and he did a lot of it on his own. They'll go for one here as Dustin Hopkins is in for the point after. This one up and hit the right upright, but it went through. Taiwan Easterling, a guy that didn't even know if he's going to be ready for the season opener. That's the way to open things up on this Labor Day night. He weaves his way 21 yards for a touchdown. Jacory Harris, the interception to Greg Reed, led to the touchdown by Taiwan Easterling, number 8. What a great story. Ruptured his Achilles tendon. That's not a great story, but that was in off-season conditioning. He didn't even play in the spring, and they said, will he be ready? And a lot of people said they've never seen somebody come back from one of those kind of injuries as quickly as he did, and he just gave his team the lead, 23-14. Greg Cooper from about the 9. Cooper's got an opening. Cooper, 40. Midfield for Cooper, needs a block. Cuts back inside and all the way down to the 30-yard line. Great return by Greg Cooper. That's how you have an answer to a touchdown.
This is poor coverage by Florida State. They get out of their coverage lanes. Look at that area right in there. I mean, there's no red shirts. I mean, he was out to the 30-yard line before there was any Florida State coverage man down there. I mean, you got to be disciplined in those coverage lanes running down the field.
Todd, for a lot of last year, they didn't have the luxury of having him as a return man because Javaris James was banged up and didn't play in a lot of games, so he couldn't do that.
Yep.
But they love him as a return guy.
I can see why.
Second straight start for Miami in Florida State territory after a 63-yard kick return. Jacory Harris, the throwbacks, got a man wide open and got his tight end, Epps. And Epps is almost to the goal line, down to the 2. You talk about coming back from a 82-yard drive by Florida State and having an answer with a long kick return and then that play, and now it's first and goal.
Well, one thing that Miami has not shown but might be an option here could be a quarterback draw for Jacory Harris. They've not shown it.
James behind him. The stretch play to Javaris James. His cutback this time won't be good enough. Got away with it earlier in the ball game on the other end of the field, but not this time.
Good defensive possession in their own territory. After they gave up a couple big plays, they really tightened up on the goal line. All 3 down. Very disciplined. Good leverage, good flying to the football, and forcing the field goal attempt.
This should be a chip shot for Matt Bosher, who was 18 out of 20 last year. And it's basically an extra point, an 18-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark. Matt Pirelli will hold. Bosher with a kick, and it's good. So they wanted 7. They had to settle for 3 after 2 great plays, including the kick return and that throwback pass to Epps, the tight end, who got it down to the 2, but they could get it no further. So still a 1-possession football game here with 3:12 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Bobby Bowden trying to go to 15-0 on his home field in openers with the Seminoles. Bosher will kick away, and Taiwan Easterling, who just scored a couple of minutes ago, is back with Greg Reed, who had a really nice kick return of his own here in the second half. And it's going to be Reed from the 6. And Reed trying to get to the corner again. Got a block. He's pretty nifty. Reed, 40. Bosher, the only man left. Second time tonight he's done it. 51 yards on the kick return.
I mean, you talk about momentum. I mean, football is a game of momentum. Miami scored. They got a big kickoff return. They want to get their defense on the field in good position. And Florida State comes right back with Greg Reed, and now all of a sudden they're knocking on the door again. We've seen back-to-back kickoff returns set their teams up in great field possession.
Greg Reed, the freshman out of Valdosta, Georgia. Lowndes High School. His fellow defensive backs, the older guys, say, I wish I had that much confidence when I came in to camp that he's had. And he's shown it tonight with an interception and 2 long kick returns. Let's check in with Aaron.
And Brad, when Miami needs this defense to hold the most, this is when they're suffering. I sat here and watched them over on the bench when the offense was out there. We've got Colin McCarthy back, linebacker, who just had an IV who was cramping up. We have Randy Phillips over on the sidelines. He's cramping up. This defense is either winded or they're complaining to the trainers that whenever they move, they start to cramp.
Phillips is not a good guy not to have in there, that's for sure. 3 wideouts for Christian Ponder in the shotgun. Ponder waits and goes across the middle, completes. Another first down throw to Goodman.
Tell a quarterback, take what the defense gives you. Take what the defense gives you. That's what he's done. With the exception of 1 play tonight, he has done exactly that. Where the open man is, where the matchup is, that's where he's gone with the football.
It's his 5th different guy that he's gone to on 3rd down for a first down. That alone's pretty impressive. Now Ponder takes his time, steps back into the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Now they got some pressure on him, and he dropped the ball. First time they came around the corner, Marcus Robinson stripped it out of Ponder's hands, and Miami's got it.
Marcus Robinson beats Zebri Sanders, number 77 on the play. Just flies around him on the outside. He's going to beat his man, get a hold of the quarterback. Probably could have been a holding penalty on Sanders on this play as well. Gets around the outside, hits the ball with his left hand, and Miami comes up with it.
Just when you said they weren't getting pressure from their ends, it's like Marcus heard you. He came storming around the corner, knocked the ball out, and Josh Holmes recovered it. So there's another key turnover, and Miami takes over. At their own 39-yard line. Play action. Harris. Deep middle. Man is there, and it's complete, and it's Travis Benjamin on the run again. Benjamin down to the 32-yard line. Doing what he did a year ago. Pickup of 29.
Boy, their play action passes, their first down passes tonight have been outstanding. I mean, you get excellent protection that way because the defense has to pause a second on their way to the quarterback to make sure it's not a run. And it's a great opportunity to get big chunks of yardage. The linebackers buy the fake, and you have holes in the middle of the field. And Jacory Harris has made a living on first down tonight.
I'm not sure I've ever seen this many first down passes in any league. Now it's Cooper. And he got a yard or 2. Corey Mangum with the stop. And we're winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Final 45 seconds. We haven't lacked for big plays tonight, partner. If it's a run, might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Miami's worked it to the Florida State 30-yard line. Ponder's been big with a touchdown throw and a touchdown run, but he's been intercepted once, and the fumble led to this Miami drive. Here comes everybody for Florida State. Harris just trying to get rid of it. Throws a jump ball and flags it down at the 5-yard line. Patrick Robinson was back there in coverage.
Pass interference, number 21 on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Not the kind of birthday present Patrick Robinson was planning on giving himself.
Florida State is bringing everybody. They're bringing pressure, and amazingly, Jacory Harris gets enough on this ball under duress because Jacoby McDaniel put a real shot on him, and the ball was underthrown, and because it was underthrown, that's what drew the contact from Patrick Robinson.
So it's at the 15-yard line. Patrick, the senior, a Miami native. First mistake he's made tonight. Jacory Harris trying to take advantage of it. Inside handoff to Cooper. Cooper takes it outside. Inside the 5. and out of bounds.
Well, what a great run, though. The little stop and start. I mean, he stepped in and broke out, and then he did it again, a second time in the run.
There, his left foot went out as he was diving for the pylon. I think you're going to see right about there. Now, where his body was, it's another story.
Yeah.
Wow. What an effort by Cooper. And this one's going to be reviewed, I think. With a second left. Nope, no seconds left. It's going to be the end of the quarter. It is. End of the quarter. 3 complete. Entering the fourth quarter, Florida State at home leading 23-17. The last play of that quarter as Greg Cooper heads to the corner, his left foot sliding out of bounds. And sometimes looks can be deceiving from angles. Look at the right. It almost looks like his body is in, but on the left-hand side, you can see his foot's going out, and he's nowhere near the goal line at that point. So it's 1st and goal at the 2. Remember, they had 1st and goal at the 2 last time, and they had to settle for a field goal.
I bet they don't throw on 1st down this time.
They're going to give it straight up the gut to James, and he didn't get anywhere. Javaris James hit by Dakota Watson. Dakota Watson, the captain of the defense, a top returning tackler. Mickey Andrews coaching him up. Chuck Amato, the linebacker coach, former head coach at NC State, who was here before he went to NC State. Those guys been around a long time together. James and Hill, the fullback, behind him. He'll take it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Miami. Jacory Harris on a quarterback sneak.
Did a nice job running right behind Orlando Franklin, the left guard. 6'7", 318, pretty good idea. He kind of leaned into the center, and Jacory just slipped his slender body right in behind him for the touchdown.
Remember that missed extra point by Florida State? Miami hits this one. That's the difference in the ball game so far. Matt Corelli will hold. Long way to go, but the Hurricanes are in front. 10 unanswered points. And the 4th lead change of the night. There's the freshman kicker that missed an extra point earlier, but hit a big field goal. 24-23. Miami in front. With Todd Blackledge and Aaron Andrews, I'm Brad Nessler. Nice to have you along with us on this capper of our Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff weekend. It started about a month ago, and we've got 13:43 remaining. Started Thursday night, in all honesty, and had some good football. This has been one of the best games so far of the weekend.
Well, this has been a game of plays and then answers, scores and then answers, and both teams have done it. Both teams have responded, and it's probably going to come right down to that.
Short kick. Almost fumbled right there, but it'll be good field position. That's another one of those short kicks tonight that's going to give, in this case, good field position for Florida State. They'll start from the 36-yard line. We came into this one talking about quarterbacks. Both these young guys have looked really good. Ponder, of course, is the upperclassman, but Jacory Harris, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, he's got such poise, you know, and he's got great leadership skills. Plus, he can really throw the football. You know, he's an excellent young quarterback. And I think the other thing we're seeing, both these teams, we talked at the very top of the show, they're both close to being back. You can see it. There's a lot of skill. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of fight in these teams. And the winner tonight takes a major step forward, not just in the ACC, but in the state of Florida and recruiting. I mean, this is a very significant game for both of these teams.
Absolutely. And remember, Florida State ranked 18th coming into this game. So if Miami could go on the road in Tallahassee and pull an upset, that'll be a huge feather in their cap because they've got a tough schedule coming up. There's the quarterbacks, 264 and 276, each with an interception. Harris with a touchdown pass and a touchdown run. Ponder with 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. Not a bad night for either guy. 2nd down and 9. Christian in the shotgun.
Quick throw across the middle, tipped and almost intercepted. Intended for Rod Owens. Brandon Harris was there along with Sean Spence.
That's got to be a catch for Rod Owens. At this point in the game, I mean, every play counts. And your quarterback throws it where he's supposed to throw it, and you've got to make this catch. Now you've got 3rd and long when it should have been either a first down or 3rd and short. Christian Ponder only 6 of 13 at this half after an excellent start, but that one there was not his fault.
And he's only hit 1 of his last 5. 3rd and 9. Ponder throwing out and incomplete. Richard Goodman got kind of turned around and he was open. I don't know that he had gotten the first down though. Bobby Bowden in his 34th season as the head man of the Seminoles, his 44th year overall. Sean Powell now to punt. Travis Benjamin has had another big night for Miami. He might get a shot at this one. He does from the 31. Nice coverage though by the Seminoles, so we got about a yard on the return. Big 3rd and 10 with 12 minutes remaining. Harris in the shotgun, and here comes some speed off the corner, and he's hit as he throws. It's intercepted. Going the other way is Marcus White. Touchdown! Not only was he intercepted for a score, but Jacory Harris looks like he's hurt.
Well, we saw a quarterback walk off holding his right shoulder a couple days ago, and that's what Jacory Harris did at the end of this play. Again, it was Greg Reed, who has had a big-time night for the Florida State Seminoles, who made the play.
He made the hit, that guy with the interception.
Jacory Harris hurt his right shoulder last year, the last ball game of the year, then re-injured it in the Emerald Bowl on a similar play. Watch Greg Reed hit Jacory Harris's arm. His right throwing arm, as he throws, Greg Reed goes right into the arm and hurts the shoulder. The ball gets it fluttering up in the air, and the interception return for the touchdown. Again, this kind of game, that situation, you got to just take care of the ball. Now, I don't know what else Jacory Harris could have done there other than eat it and punt. But that's the worst thing that could have happened to Miami.
Remember, we talked about backup quarterbacks. A.J. Highsmith is a true freshman. He's the only guy, and there he is warming up. I mentioned at the end of last season, Robert Marv, who had been a starter last year, transferred. And then Taylor Cook and Cannon Smith in the same week, 2 redshirt freshmen, transferred late this summer. The cupboard's almost bare, partner, on the quarterback scene, except this young guy. And you didn't want him in a game this big this early. Florida State's going to go for 2.
And again, that missed extra point earlier in the game. They're only up right now by 5. They need to try to get it to a 7-point lead.
Almost looked like Miami was offside, but they hold their ground. And now Ponder for 2. Throws, caught. And it's Goodman for 2. A 7-point game now. They got their point back. 5th lead change. What a game. But now the question is, who's the quarterback on the ensuing drive for the Canes? 31-24 Florida State. He's warming up. He's been trying to shake his fingers a little bit as if he's trying to get feeling in his hand. It appears Jacory Harris is going to try to take the field for Miami, as Florida State's taking the lead on that interception. The second of Harris tonight. Greg Reed, the freshman out of Valdosta, Georgia, had something to do with both of them. One, it was his interception, and in that case, it was his hit on the arm of Harris. Greg Cooper from the 7th. Cooper across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And he's coming back out. 11 and a half minutes to go. 31-24. Last year it was 41-39. But we didn't have this many lead changes. Harris, middle screen blown up completely. In fact, the ball, I think it's incomplete, which is probably just as well. Nigel Bradham had it read beautifully. It is incomplete, and that's actually a good thing for Miami.
Yeah.
The fans, 81,077 on this Labor Day night's matchup with the Canes.
Once again, Florida State has Miami right where they want them defensively. Second and long. Not able to do that first down play action pass.
On the ground, but it's only going to be about a 2-yard gain for Lee Chambers. Greg Reed, how about the freshman? No wonder all the upperclassmen are saying, I wish I had his kind of cockiness and confidence when I was his age.
Well, he's only 175 pounds. And he's 5'9", 175, but I'll tell you what, certain guys play bigger than their program says they are. He does.
He's got an interception, 2 long kick returns, a forced interception, if you will, and there is just plain good heads up, making a tackle football. 3rd and 15. Miami only 1 out of 9 on the 3rd down conversions tonight. And here they come after Harris. Throws complete. Hankerson made a nice move, and he got the first down. Boy, tough move first to get around a guy and then to power his way.
It was a nice move by Hankerson, but it was a bad play by Patrick Robinson, who was in coverage, because he took a bad angle for the tackle. It was 3rd and long. All he has to do is make a normal tackle after the catch, and they're punting. But he took a bad angle, and that's what Mickey says. That speed is great, but if there's not discipline with it, it can be a detriment. In that case, it was a detriment.
We approach the 10-minute mark. The drive stays alive for the Miami Hurricanes. Harris, plenty of time and running out of it. Got away from Dakota Watson. Now he loads, fires down the middle, and he's got Benjamin again. Benjamin still on his feet. And Benjamin's got a first down in Seminole territory at the 38-yard line. Another pickup of 21. And the athletic ability and escapability of Jacory Harris kept that play alive.
You know, and he's so calm that it almost looks like he stops playing. I mean, he just almost kind of stops and floats.
It almost looked like there was a whistle right there. Until
I thought there was a whistle. He's just kind of floating back there, and he eludes Watson. And the best thing he does, what you want a quarterback to do, is even though your feet are moving, you want their eyes to stay downfield. And that's the reason he was able to find Benjamin.
He's passed for 300 yards now tonight. And he's got his team a first down just inside the Florida State 25. Looks like the Noles are going to come with pressure. They will. Harris is going to loft one to the corner. Cooper's got it for a touchdown. 24-yard touchdown on a lob pass from Harris to his tailback, Greg Cooper.
What a great route by Cooper, a great call by Mark Whipple. They took Cooper and they put him out as a wide receiver. And what the response from Florida State was to put a linebacker, Kendall Smith, out there. Watch the fake slant, the linebacker bit, and then he goes to the corner, and the linebacker, Kendall Smith, had no chance. A beautiful call, and again, matchup. Where do we have a matchup? They got a touchdown out of it.
Greg Cooper bobbled it, kept his concentration, basically caught it twice in the corner of the end zone. He's had a big game, too. Extra point by Bosher is good. I don't think you want to go anywhere. I know it's been a long weekend. 7:14 left. 31-31. Greg Cooper with the touchdown catch, capping a 73-yard drive, and we've got a tie ball game. Here's a squib kick down the middle, trying to keep it out of Reed and Easterling's hands, and it does a good job of that at the 30-yard line. Florida State only needs a field goal to win should they put a long drive together, and nothing would be more fitting than to cap a Labor Day weekend with a freshman trying to kick the ball to win a game. He might not have to. Ty Jones blasts his way for the biggest run of the night for Florida State at 27 yards.
Great job blocking by the right side of the Florida State offensive line. David Spurlock, the right guard. Zebri Sanders, the right tackle. Watch these two guys just open the way. The pistol formation, the give to the tailback deep, and he just kind of reads. It's a zone play. He just looks for the crease. Excellent execution by the Seminoles.
First down at the Hurricane 43-yard line. Now Ponder will give it off to Jones again. Jones, same play. Down to the 34, maybe the 33. Very close to another first down.
They call that the stretch play because the back wants to stretch until he sees a crease, and anywhere he sees one, he can cut back. As long as you secure the backside and don't let somebody chase the play from the backside, you're okay. In this case, the way they're securing the backside is Ponder is faking the bootleg, and that's holding that backside defender.
They'll give it to Jones a third time in a row. Both hands around the football to the 29. 6 minutes left. Pick up of 5 more. Boy, the sophomore 203-pounder out of Tampa is really the workhorse so far for Florida State here in the late going of the fourth quarter. He's got 41 on this drive. Last year was Antoine Smith, who had 2 big touchdowns and a near 100-yard night. Now it's Ty Jones. This time he slips on his own and lost a yard.
Well, you want to do 2 things here if you're Florida State. Obviously, you want to score, first of all. You want to take the lead. But, you know, you won't feel too bad if you use a bunch of clock in the process, because you've already seen that your defense is having some problems stopping Jacory Harris in the Miami offense. So you want to put as much duress on them as you can when they do get the ball back.
Florida State 4 straight runs. Jermaine Thomas is in there now in the backfield for the first time in a long time. Porosky, the tight end, is in there as Ponder in the shotgun's going to throw. Complete. And it's Thomas trying to get away from the defender, and he can't. Maybe got 2 yards, and you see he's still limping a little bit.
It's a nice tackle by Chavez Grant, because again, you know, when you throw the ball out short to somebody in space, it's a one-on-one tackling situation, and a missed tackle results in a long gain. It's a short throw, and you hope the guy can make one guy miss or break one tackle, and Chavez Grant doesn't let go. He waits till somebody comes to help, and it's a short, minimal gain.
Here's the third down of the night. 3rd and 8. And here comes a blitz from the Canes. Ponder lofts it to the corner. Incomplete. Intended for Ron Owens. Sam Shields was covering.
You know, Sam Shields has only been a corner for a few months. Right. I mean, he was a wide receiver the first part of his career. He's very fast, and I think the problem here is the ball's underthrown. Shields never sees the ball. He's just playing the receiver, but the ball's underthrown. If that ball is thrown a little bit deeper, Shields has no idea where it is, and I think it's a touchdown.
If you've ever seen Florida State and Miami, you know about all the wide rights and then one wide left. This from 45 yards with 4:16 left would give them the lead. The freshman with a kick on the way, and it is perfect. So for the second time, Dustin Hopkins from long range, this time from 45. And at least temporarily, he's given Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles the lead. Can't do it any better than that.
Nope.
And a former All-American and All-Pro Derek Brooks on the sideline says that's what I like about these young guys that can kick.
Well, there have been 17 games in this series between Miami and Florida State that have been decided by 3 points or less. That's where we are right now. Miami has held the upper hand in those games. They lead 11-6 in those games. However, Florida State, the last 3 games they've won in this series have been by that 3-point margin or less.
So Hopkins, who just hit the big field goal, will kick off. Greg Cooper has been sensational as a return man. I think he'd like to keep it out of his hands if he could. And they'll try to do that. And it's a line drive taken by one of the up man at the 40-yard line. It's still going to be good field position at the 41. Jordan Futch is the guy that did it. A field goal to tie, a touchdown to win. Harris, quick throw across the middle again to Javaris James. And Javaris has got it out near midfield. Plenty of time for Miami. 3:50 and counting. Pickup of about 7. Second down and 3. He's been very comfortable with those crossing patterns tonight. This time James on the ground. And he's not going to get to the first down marker. Well, maybe he will. He got a lot closer than I thought he was going to. An extra surge at the end. I still think he's about a foot short, but we'll wait and see until they unpile. They need to get it to the 49-yard line. Fans are trying. It's been a long day and a long night and a lot of tailgating. Trying to help out the Seminole defense. Now Fox shifts over the tackle on the right side. They're overloaded that way. They'll go that way. And Cooper's got the first down. Greg Cooper, tough run. Only needed about the length of the football, and he got a yard and a half.
Florida State is forced to play some guys in here in the defensive front. Right now they've got a true freshman, Jacoby McDaniel, number 99, who's in there. Bud Thacker is a senior who has played some tonight but has a toe injury and is not playing very much, so they've had to play some younger guys, and now it's a crucial time of the game when you got those young guys in.
Do they bring any pressure on Harris here in the shotgun on first down? Throws again, complete. And Hankerson goes out of bounds on the far side. Greg Reed knocked him out. Pick up a 5. And that stops the clock with 2:32 remaining. What a way to start the football season for these two teams.
Well, we talked about the importance of this game for both of them. They both want to get off to a good start in the league. Just for the rest of their season. We talked about the early schedule for Miami, how brutal. But you know what? Florida State's is pretty brutal, too. Yep. We just saw a BYU team that they play in a couple weeks up in Provo that's going to be serious.
2nd and 5 at the Knowles 42. Harris play fake. Scrambles up in the pocket and throws long, and he's got a man out there.
Oh, my gosh. What a throw.
Travis Benjamin out at the 2.
Pass was complete to number 3, Travis Benjamin.
40 yards. The same guy that did it for the Seminoles a year ago. Number 3, Travis Benjamin.
Yeah, but it was Robert Marv playing last year, and it wasn't this guy. Great job of just maneuvering in the pocket, but again, keeping his eyes downfield. Not panicking, finding more time in a throwing lane, and then a perfect throw on the flag route right over the shoulder to Benjamin.
Travis Benjamin's caught 4 balls for 128 yards on the night. 1st and goal, Miami. Trying to regain the lead here late in the 4th quarter, and Greg Cooper's got it. Touchdown. Wow. Cooper, a 3-yard scoring romp. And the Canes are back in front. The extra point, if it's good, would force Florida State to have to score a touchdown to win. Nothing's automatic, so Matt Bosher will come in for an all-important extra point. And it's good. The 6th lead change of the night. And Miami, with 1:53 remaining, in command for the moment. But Christian Ponder and Florida State have 1:53 and 1 timeout to work with, but they need a touchdown. 38-34.
Boy.
And Benjamin's catch from 40 yards from Jacory Harris is what set up the score.
And again, that missed extra point, you know how big? They've got to score a touchdown here. They can't settle for a tying field goal. They've got to go for touch.
Hopkins has done big things, but he'd like to have one kick back for sure. We said it when it happened. It could change the complexion of the game. It has. And now Bosher is set to kick away. He's going to line drive it again. This should be good field position. Maybe better than good. Greg Reed again. They put Greg Reed in a spot where if they did do a squib kick, he could do something with it.
But Miami has done that several times tonight, whether it's the short pooch kick or whatever. And every time they've done it, it's kind of come back to haunt them a little bit. Now, I don't know if they don't think that Bosher has enough leg to get the ball deep. Maybe they better find a new kickoff guy, because this really helps Christian Ponder and Florida State.
Christian Ponder and the Seminoles are 49 yards away from a win. That's still a long ways to go. They need a touchdown. Ponder in the gun. Fires to the outside, complete to Burt Reed and out of bounds. Pick up with 8. As Todd said, this is a time for him to get hot again if he can. And that was a good, smooth start.
He doesn't have to get it all right away. They've got a minute 43. He still has one timeout. And the mistake he made tonight, when he has made a mistake, has been throwing late, deep down the middle of the field.
2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground to try to get the first down, and they don't get it. In fact, they lost one. Colin McCarthy, nice play by the linebacker. So now it's 3rd down. Of course, it's 2-down territory, so that's not a big problem. And he's going to keep it. And he's got a first down and more. Ponder, 20, all the way to the 11.
Well, Ty Jones did it again, the lead blocker.
Talk about a gutsy call.
Wow. 3rd and 2. Put it in the hands of your leader, your quarterback. And watch Ty Jones, number 33, lead up in there. Boom, right on the safety. Phillips.
Sean Phillips, Randy Phillips rather, has seen all he wants to see of Ty Jones tonight. First down, Florida State at the Hurricane 12. Trying to take the lead. Throw across the middle. Horoski, the tight end, has got it at the 4-yard line. 45 seconds. A timeout remaining for Florida State. Miami up by 4.
Clock is running, and they're switching personnel. This is going to take a little time for Florida State. It's not just line up and run the play. They switched about 3 different people, which is eating up some time for the Seminoles. Now Miami's trying to switch personnel. Meanwhile, the clock is still going.
And now timeout, I believe, taken by Miami.
But you know what? That doesn't hurt Miami, because all that time went off the clock because Florida State didn't call timeout and tried to change personnel for a more of a goal line type formation. Miami had to waste their last time out, but Florida State wasted a lot of valuable seconds trying to change personnel groups to get the play call.
23 seconds left. 2nd and 2. Florida State on the option. Ponder kept it.
Now they're going to have to call a timeout.
And he lost a yard. Colin McCarthy again. Jimbo Fisher, you can see the reaction in front of Bobby Bowden. Bobby's almost afraid to look right now.
See, the option fooled Miami last year. They weren't prepared for it. They weren't ready for Christian Ponder's running. Now, he's made a couple plays on the quarterback draw tonight, but the option, they've been ready.
Now, if they should do something like a quarterback draw, they would really have to hustle. This looks like 2 passes to the end zone with 17 seconds left.
This has to be. Now, you might roll him out and give him the option to run it in if he sees it, but I don't know that you can call a run at this point.
Miami 38, Florida State 34, and that look pretty much tells the whole story. 17 seconds left. It's 3rd and 3. They can get a first down inside the 2, but it really doesn't matter because of the time situation and the lack of timeouts.
Now, the one guy that you may want to watch if you're Florida State is Porowski, the tight end. He's 6'7". He's right in here on the inside of the formation right now.
Ponder in the gun. Reed, Goodman, and Fortson, his wideouts. Porowski, as Todd mentioned, is the tight end. Ponder, end zone, and flags down.
Defense number 1. Ball be placed in the 2-yard line. First and goal.
Miami got good pressure on Ponder. Josh Holmes came from the inside and I think forced Ponder to throw this sooner than he wanted to. There's the pressure, and the ball's high.
Yeah, he took a big hit. So now it's at the 2-yard line. But only 14 seconds left.
The only difference now, you can spike the ball if you run it and don't get in.
Ponder, the fade, Fortson, incomplete. Brandon Harris was there. 9 seconds left. 2 plays left. Jacory Harris can only look on to his defense.
Oh, that's good defense by Brandon Harris. You know, Fortson actually pushed him coming off the ball and didn't get called, and Harris was able to scramble right back in position to make the play.
We've only got time for 2 plays. This big ACC game has come down to this. Christian Ponder in the shotgun. Florida State at the Miami 2-yard line. Ponder backpedals, lofts it to the back of the end zone, incomplete. And now we've got 1 play to go.
Well, we saw Jacory Harris make a poor throw for the same reason. Backpedaling and not setting his feet to make an accurate throw. And now it's down to 1 play.
You saw Bobby Bowden in Jimbo Fisher's ear a little bit there. He'll send his quarterback out, and it all comes down to 1 play.
Well, they got to get the play called and get ready. The play clock is down to 10 right now. You don't want to rush the snap here.
4 wideouts for Ponder. Rolls to his right. Throws. Caught. Touchdown. No. Incomplete. I thought Fortson had it. The Canes have survived. What a finish. What a ball game. What could have been for Christian Ponder. Here's another look.
Design roll, you give the quarterback the option. If it's not there, he might be able to run. He's got Fortson open. The ball is thrown a little bit low, but he had his man open.
Fortson going down and just couldn't keep his hands underneath it. Wow, what a ball game. And you'll see the reaction. Florida State's thinking they've got it, just like I thought they had it. What a tough ball game. Christian Ponder thought it was a touchdown as well. And Jacory Harris keeping his cool on the sideline. What a game he had. He's so tired he's just going to trot out there to celebrate. Here's one more look from behind Ponder as he let go. This is what he was looking at. The ball hit the turf as Fortson just couldn't keep his 2 hands cupped underneath it. 6 lead changes. 3 of them came in the 4th quarter. Jacory Harris 386 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Christian Ponder 294 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. What a game for the sophomore quarterback of Miami. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
Well, you were just Mr. Calm, cool, and collective through this whole game, but I have have to ask you, as these seconds ticked away over here, what were you thinking on your sideline?
Man, I was just thinking, man, my team fought through this so long and so hard, all this preparation, and it came down to this. And, you know, our defense, I know they was going to pull through at the end because that's what they've been doing. They've been doing it the whole summer and just working hard.
I have to ask you this because we don't have a confirmation. What happened to your arm when you got hit?
Oh, man, it was just a bad funny bone incident. My whole arm went numb. And, you know, it's something that you got to fight through. I had to help this team win, and it ain't too bad, so I'm all right.
How were you able to fight through when your arm was numb and leave them on a scoring drive right there?
And I just had to throw it with my first 2 fingers. I couldn't grip the ball with my pinky, so just had to find a way to get the job done, and that's what I did.
Hey, go celebrate with your teammates. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
A tough night for Christian Ponder, a great night for Jacory Harris, a great night for college football. What a finish. Don't forget SportsCenter is coming up next. Final score, Miami 38, Florida State 34. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Todd Blackley, Jaron Andrews, and our entire crew, Brad Nessler, good night from Tallahassee.